Dude, I can hear kids.
Presented by Prize Picks. Get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 and use the promo code. Welcome to Light Years. Andy Lou, Sunday night. Dude, 1 week left in the regular season, by the way. I know it's coming, but it hasn't really hit me. This time next Sunday, we will know where the Warriors are in the playoffs, playing, whatever it may be, seeding, all that fun stuff. It happens fast. We're recording this after the Rockets game. Shitty loss. I don't know how else to put it. Shitty loss we'll get into in a second. I just want to throw out, it's nights like tonight where Surfside is really useful. You watch that Warriors offense, you need a Surfside to be able to digest it. And you know what the best part about Surfside is? 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, no bubbles. This offense was going to give you indigestion anyway. At least Surfside's not going to. New to Northern California, my friends, go get some Surfsides available in Costco, Targets, Rayleigh's, wherever you guys are at. But
no, wait, hold on. By the way, about Surfside, I don't have a Surfside in my hand because I bought 2 boxes and drank all of it. I had a wedding this week.
Tonight's game.
Yeah, yeah, no, not tonight's game. I only had one, but like I just had all types of events these last couple weeks. Friends, kids, having kids, all this type of shit. And dude, Surfside's the best pregame. Like it is literally, you have like a Surfside 2, 3, 4. It's only 400 calories, and then you can go get out there, man. You're buzzed up. So anyway, let's get to the game. But I legitimately love Surfside.
All right, 106.90. A lot of ways I can take this. The officiating was a joke. The flagrant on Draymond, in my opinion, was just pure reputation. A joke call in general to call flagrant with him. Like, I don't know what you really want to do with his elbow in that situation. If you don't call it a foul, call it a foul. Even that's questionable. But, you know, they let Houston get away with more contact than the Warriors. But ultimately, look, that's all bullshit. Who cares? You know? If Steph and Jimmy are going to play like they played tonight, like there's no point for the pod. Season's, that effort's not going to cut it. That's basically my main take on this is Amen Thompson. He will win a Defensive Player of the Year at some point. Incredible defense. And the Rockets in general, scrappy defensive team. Like they are a good defensive team. Don't get me wrong on any of that stuff, but come on, man. You're talking about a top 10 player of all time. You're talking about an all-star in Jimmy who's put up more 40-point games than any player in the playoffs the last 5 years. Neither of them wanted to play off. Neither of them really they wanted to just go through the motions tonight until the end, basically.
Okay, that's where we'll start. I was trying to figure out where you wanted to go with this Draymond stuff for Steph Jimmy. No, I think Steph Jimmy is the best place to start because I had a same take coming down at the end of the game watching this when we kind of realized that they would lose, I think, which is with about 3.5 minutes left. Steph turned the ball over, missed a couple shots, and you're like sitting there like, all right, this isn't happening. they're not pulling this one out. And I completely agree with you. Houston's a very good defensive team. Amen Thompson is probably the best wing defender that the NBA has to offer. I think in a while that we've seen. He's freaking amazing. But Steph and Jimmy took the day off on offense. Like they just didn't want to shoot the ball. Like, look, I get you want to play off ball. I get he's playing great defense. But if you're Steph and you're Jimmy, like Jimmy got the ball how many times in the mid post and with Şengün playing 3 feet off of him? How many times did Steph just bring the ball up and shoot it? They shot 17 times combined in the 33 minutes of the times that they played to get like on the floor, right? And they shot 17 times. It's a joke.
And of those 17, I think half of them came in the last 5 minutes when they're like, I got to try now.
Oh, so there you go. Yeah, so 10 times. Let's say they shot 10 to 12 times. It's ridiculous, right? I agree with you. It's just now I will say this, Sam. I will say this. Part of them looking like this is probably because of the fact that they won 3 games in a row in 4 nights. They only had 1 day off. Then they had to play again. So the 4th game in 6 nights
Against a good team.
against a very good team. So I get it. They're old. They probably didn't have the energy to go as hard as they did tonight as they did against Denver. So I get it. But right, and there's a reason why they only played 33 minutes. I think Steve knew that. Like, again, they didn't play the last couple minutes because the game was over. Steve took them out. But it's like they only lives at 35. In a true must-win playoff game, like those guys probably played 40 minutes, right? So I think Steve, they kind of came in knowing that they didn't necessarily have the requisite energy. I'm not giving Houston credit. I get it, but yeah, man, they shot, to your point, like they shot like 12 times together in 30 minutes. That's not gonna cut it, man. Like we don't need to see, GP2 and Buddy and Podz all shot 14 times. They each shot 14 times. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
You know everything you need to know by that type of box score. They either boat race a team because they're moving the ball so well, or they get their ass kicked. Because there's no reason on earth Steph should be 4th in shot attempts, and it's just you could take the big picture view, which is if you look at it over the course of the week, this is a great week. They played 4 playoff teams and they beat 3 of them. 4 teams that they're in playoff positioning against in 6 nights. They beat 3 of them. If I told you that last week, you'd be like, sounds great. I'll take it every day of the week. But the flip side is you watch this game and, they look old. They looked old tonight. And that's kind of what you get with this type of team. There's going to be nights where that shows. The thing that Steph does in these type of games that both I get it and it also annoys me is like when he's moving off ball, Van Vliet's hugging him and he puts his hand up, circling to people to like move off of him because he knows he's got 2 bodies on him. It's both smart and cute and like exactly what he should do in terms of taking advantage of his gravity. And it's also just not what he's going to do in game 5 of a playoff series. You know what I mean? It's not what's going to happen if they're in a dogfight with this team. If they're in a dogfight with this team, he's pushing to get the ball back in those moments. And to your point, that's kind of what it was. They were running their regular season vanilla offense, trying to see if they could generate something out of it. And then that led to, because Houston's a damn good defensive team, it led to both Steph and Jimmy being largely anonymous all game. And then when he tried to assert at the end, it was too late because they are a good defensive team. You're probably not going to be able to just turn it on for 2 minutes. It's Steph Curry. It's possible, but it's like when you're getting regular season effort versus playoff effort.
I think the only person that probably gave postseason effort was probably outside of I thought like Podz played really hard. I thought Kuminga played really well tonight. Buddy was awesome. One of his best games of the season. I thought GP2 was really, really good too. I thought those role guys, like they came to play, Sam. Part of it was like they had to. But I do think going back to your first, like the first thing you said, I think the guy that tried to get him locked in because he kind of saw this game going sideways was Draymond. I think that's why Draymond pulled the antics. He was like, let's get us fired up because he's probably looking around saying like, all right, well, Steph's kind of clocked out tonight. Jimmy's kind of floating through the game. We're kind of on shaky ground here, right? And the Rockets had them all jumbled up. So I think Draymond kind of tried to get them all riled up. But I do think that backfired a little bit tonight, right? It culminated in that flagrant foul, which was unreal. But I love that though. I think that's great for the game. I think that's great for the Warriors. The Warriors need that from Draymond. That's the best version of Draymond. And, we've seen so many times him take it too far. I think he probably took it too far tonight. But I think he did only because he kind of knew where it was going. Like Draymond saw the game and he saw like, look, this isn't going our way. Like I got to get us pumped up. I think that's why he did it. I don't think he would have done it if Steph was, had 6 threes in the first half, right? So, but after that, it was the refs kind of took control of the game, called 16 fouls in the first 5 minutes of the third, and kind of became honestly.
Should we talk
Should
we talk Draymond then a little more? Let's get a little deeper onto it because it was just, we're going to get at least 3 of these in the playoffs. It doesn't matter if they're if they get eliminated in the first round of the play-in or they go to the finals. You're going to get multiple of those. The only concern is if you get multiple of them in the first round, you know you're probably not going too far. Yep. Did you think he looked old defensively against a Houston Rockets side? That's like, let's be real, like they're probably the most athletic team that this team's going to run into in the playoffs. Like this is, if you subscribe to the idea that they're getting too old, which I'm not saying you do, it would be a team like this that officially kind of quote unquote retires them, right? It's this type of thing where it's just bigger, faster, stronger. You know, Tari Eason, Amen Thompson, these guys flying around, Draymond a half second too late because he's mid-30s and they're 23. We've seen it happen to literally every player in history of every sport, right? Like that's kind of how it goes. Or do you think this is more of just kind of these things are going to happen here and there, and I'm not reading too much into it?
What do you think? I think it's the latter. I think it's. I don't. He's still very much good enough to play in these type of games. I just think it's Draymond, man. Whether it be 2016 or apparently 2025, he's got the same blow up. What I thought was interesting was him coming off the court, him celebrating Fred VanVleet missing two free throws going into halftime, him screaming and celebrating on the sidelines, and then I was trying to see Jimmy's reaction because one of the things I'm genuinely curious about is what this team is going to look like in the playoff series when things get rough. Right tonight, things got rough, and I kind of want to see like what's Jimmy's reaction to a Draymond that's completely blowing a gasket. I couldn't see tonight. Hopefully, one of the reporters will kind of ask him or something like that. Ask Jimmy like, "What are your thoughts on Draymond going crazy?" But I just thought it was funny. Like, is Jimmy kind of sitting there like, "Yo, this motherfucker's insane," or is he kind of sitting there and thinking like, "All right, like let's lock in," right? Because I think that's just what Draymond's trying to do. Him playing the actual defense, him being able to play on the court, I don't think is a question. I guess you can argue though, Sam, like them going, like, is the rebounding a question for the starting lineup because it's so small? Like, I think that's a genuine question where it's like, all right, man, like you only got Draymond and Jimmy at the 4-5 with Moody. Like the Rockets did own them on the glass tonight, and we haven't seen that happen since they've started this lineup. I think that's probably the better question. I think.
Yeah, I'm personally of the. I'm not overreacting to this one because I just watched what they did the previous 3 games against equal caliber opponents. As far as I'm concerned, they all are different, but they're all relatively good teams. They're all contenders. I'm going to need to see it more. And then the second part of it is, and there's no science behind this other than it's just my belief. They traded for Jimmy because they believed in some form of an intangible playoff Jimmy quality. And I personally believe in that too. And he's a damn good player. Even when he's playing like regular season, I'm just going to play the right way, Jimmy. But you traded for him and you gave him a max extension, 50 plus mil a year, because you believe when the games matter, he will rise to whatever you need him to rise to. And this team does not need him to rise to being a first option, but they do need him to rise to being a second option and on certain nights needing to assert himself when Steph is getting mugged. And tonight he didn't. And honestly, if this is a playoff game, we can have a different conversation, but that's kind of what it comes down to. Frustrating, hate watching them lose. Houston is young and athletic, and if this was a playoff series, I would think that they would make adjustments to it going into game 2. But it's kind of like, yeah, man, this is your team. You're pot committed. You're betting that when it gets to next week, sorry, not next week, the week after the playoffs start, and maybe Houston is the team they play in the first round. I don't think it will be, but maybe they're playing like a team like that.
Might be.
That it might there's be. Another. I mean, it's definitely in the cards. That's possible.
Yeah.
There's a little more focus, a little more energy, and there's days off in between playoff games. There's probably less chance that they look a little more tired and old than their opponent.
What was funny to me is Fitz didn't spend a single second of this game talking about how this team would be tired and whether it be an improbable victory versus Denver. He talked about it all game long. I find it fascinating because this was the actual game the Warriors actually looked tired. But Yeah, we'll get to the other I think standing stuff. I want to talk about like kind of the Rockets as a whole too, Sam. But before we do that, the Light Years podcast, we are brought to you by Prize Picks. All right, dude, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. Springtime is here. Baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players in your Prize Picks lineups, whether it is strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs. Take your pick of more or less for your shot to win 1,000 times your cash today. My Giants are back. My Giants are 8-1. They've got the best record in Major League Baseball. And all I do is go on Prize Picks, Sam, every morning. Go look at what the numbers look like. Go look at Jung Hoo Lee. Take the more on everything, and then go take the and then go to the other side pitcher, and then go take the less on whatever number that they're going to have in terms of game score, because their offense is unstoppable now apparently. So it's fun, it's great, dude. Baseball is back every single day. You can do this every single day. Basketball's here every single day. It's awesome. The app is really easy to use, right? All you gotta do is create a lineup, pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win. Download the app today. Use the code LIGHTYEARS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LIGHTYEARS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Oh, I did not play anything tonight's game, but I will be playing it moving forward. I've made a nice winning on the Warriors in the post Jimmy era. Just throw it out there, guys. Time to start your fitness journey, and the best way to start your fitness journey is by getting a DEXA scan. What is a DEXA scan? It's a highly accurate method of measuring your body's composition. So Andy and I can stand on the scale and it could say we weigh the same thing, but that does not mean Andy and I are in the same shape. I'm ripped. I look great. He's fat as fuck. It's not an accurate measure of how we look. But that's where a DEXA scan comes in. You find out your body fat percentage, your lean muscle mass, the visceral body fat around your organs, the things that tell you, because 200 pounds, not all 200 pounds is the same, Maybe 200 is a good weight for me, but Andy needs to be at 165 because he's kind of, he kind of doesn't have a lot of muscle on his body. Sorry. And that's what BodySpec does for you. And that's why I think you guys all need to get a DEXA scan. And the thing that's awesome about BodySpec is they'll get you a DEXA scan for only $45 with the code LIGHTYEARS45. This is traditionally like a $500 scan, the type of thing that the 49ers send their players to, but the average Joe like you and me, we can't do because we don't get access to it. I don't really want to pay that much money for that type of thing where I can just stand a scale. With BodySpec and the code LIGHTYEARS45, you get DEXA scan for only $45. Mobile vans in the Bay Area and LA, they'll come to you 15 minutes. Start that fitness journey, LIGHTYEARS45. Appreciate you. Very good sense of humor about that.
Get BodySpec.
What was I going to tell?
Lock in.
Yeah. It's you got fun with it. The 1 week I'm in terrible shape. Next week I'm ripped. It doesn't it's all who cares? No. What was I going to say? Okay. So the funny thing is, it feels like the Warriors have been trending up and a loss tonight, and they're very clearly right back in the play-in situation. And I'm not saying they're going to fall into it, but it just kind of puts into perspective how close all of this is right now. This tweet from Ohm blew my mind, where he's going 5-way tie between these teams. The order would be Wolves 4. What? Clippers 5, Warriors 6, Nuggets 7, Grizzlies 8. And I'm not saying it's going to end up in that 4-way tie, but every one of these teams like a game apart. And it's kind of insane how close this is going. It's just a reminder to me, although the Warriors had a phenomenal week overall, even with this loss, it's not over. Next week matters. Next week matters big time. They are not guaranteed anything. They could be the 3 seed. They could be the 8 seed, depending on how this next week breaks out. Yeah, man.
Sam, they all have the same record, legitimately all. Yeah, you were just about to pull it up. They didn't update the Warriors yet, but They all have the same record except for Denver, who has one more win more than everybody else. Other than that, everybody has 32 wins.
32 losses.
Sorry, yeah, 32 wins. That's the Eastern Conference. Sorry. 32 losses. Insane. Absolutely insane. If they had won tonight, they would have been the 4 seed. But really, I think they have a 4-game week next week, and it's in their hands, right? I'm not going to go in and go start looking at everyone else's schedule, but if you just look at the Warriors schedule, it's really in their hands. They go play in Phoenix on the road without KD. Then they go play at home against San Antonio with nobody. They're tanking. And then on the road in Portland, I think they've already started benching everyone. That should be 3 straight wins. Then they get a day off, Sam, and then they get the final game. I think that'll probably determine, maybe not determine whether they're in the play-in game, but the last game might determine whether they are a 4 seed or 5 seed or 6 seed, right? I think that game against the Clippers is going to be, it's obviously going to matter. There's no way it's not going to matter, but they've got to make it so that it's not a, hey, if we lose, we're in the play-in. So I do think if they win all 3, I don't know what the other schedules look like, Sam. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think if they win all 3 of those first games, they should be in a pretty good spot to not be in the play-in. But
no, you're correct. They control their own destiny without going through everyone's schedule at the same time. There is no reason they shouldn't go into that Clipper game next Sunday, 49-32, 3 straight wins, and then you and I can have a conversation about, is it smarter for them to win this game or sit this game? I think that's what they want. I think they want to enter Sunday knowing what they're essentially like. If we win, we could be the 4 seed, but if we lose, we're still the 4 seed. So maybe we rest everyone, or they enter it knowing, man, we need to win this. Otherwise we're falling into the play-in.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's all on the table. To your point, every team they're competing with has 32 losses. Every one of them. They have a tiebreaker over Minnesota. The Clippers have the tiebreaker over them. Denver has a tiebreaker. Like there's a lot of, we just have to see how this whole thing plays out. So, I mean, I can pull up some schedules right now, but they're in position that I did not think they would be in 2 months ago, which is they do somewhat control their own destiny, which is all you can really ask for, right?
Yeah.
Like they can go into game. They don't need luck. They don't need Sacramento to beat Denver. They just need to take care of their own business, you know?
No, keep going. Sorry. Keep going.
That's what I was always going to say. But, yeah.
No, because it's true. Because now that when you say tiebreaker, it just got me thinking. So they don't have the tiebreaker against the Nuggets and the Clippers, but they do have the tiebreaker against the Minnesota and Memphis. So yeah. So given that, like, let's just play it out to where everyone is tied. Anyway, I don't even know if that's possible. I genuinely don't. But let's just say everyone is tied when the season ends, right?
It's possible.
Okay, if it is possible, then the Warriors are the 6th seed, like it is right now, right? Then they are in the playoffs. Like they get a week off and they're gonna go play the Lakers. Holy shit, they're gonna go play the Lakers as the 3 seed, right? So I think that that when you say it is in their hands, like it is, because due to the tiebreakers, they are in the playoffs. All they have to do is just not fuck it up and like go. Like,
well, I mean,
1-3.
Minnesota and Memphis play each other, which means one of them at minimum will have 33 losses. Like in the perfect scenario where everyone wins every game except for that one game where they lose once to each other, at least one team will have 33 losses, right? And then the Warriors, in theory, if they beat the Clippers, they would have 33 losses. So they do have the ability to control themselves.
I got you.
There's that is, and that's probably not how it's going to play out. Like the odds that everyone wins everything, like someone's going to have a dumb loss in there, and the hope is the Warriors are not the team who has the dumb loss. But like that's really what it comes down to. Destiny is in their own hands right now, and as long as they take care of business, they will avoid the play-in right now. Yeah. They will avoid the play-in.
Which is, by the way, going back to our first segment on the game itself, I think showed in the game. Like, I think they knew that going into the game. I'm not saying they were like, you're pulling up Tankathon? You're pulling up who's tanking?
No, I'm trying to get the schedule that way.
Okay. I was gonna laugh. I was like, who does have the best odds? Utah. No, but going back to the game, I think when we talk out the scenarios for getting out of the play-in round and how, like, just because the Warriors won those first 3 games in this stretch, like they probably knew going into this game, like, hey, we would love to win this game and make it a clean 4-0 sweep in this kind of make or break week, but it doesn't kill us, right? It doesn't kill us if we lose this game. We're still in a pretty strong position to get out of the play-in, considering who the Warriors are playing the next 3 games. So part of me feels like they knew that. It kind of, maybe that's copium. Maybe that's just copium. But I watched Steph and Jimmy play tonight, and yeah, it just looked like those guys. Like, they're obviously not washed. Like, it's obviously, it's just guys that are tired. And to me, probably was like, hey man, like, we did our jobs. We won 3 games. Like, if they lost against Denver, I think we would have seen a different Warriors game, different Warriors team tonight. If they lost against Denver, I think they would have came in here and probably won the game. Like,
you cannot watch Steph go for 52 in Memphis, 37 in LA, 36 against Denver, and then 3 tonight and walk away with any other conclusion other than he's still Steph Curry, but he is getting, like, fatigue will catch him certain nights the way it wouldn't have caught him 5-10 years ago. But he still has the ceiling that we know he's capable of. So, it is what it is. It sucked. It sucked to lose that. You can go through every scenario on it, but they're still in good position. That's the way I look at it. They control. They have somehow went from having no control over their own destiny to at least having control over their own destiny, which is kind of all you can ask for right now.
Actually, kind of impressive. Now that I gotta think about it, I don't know. We're not the la-di-da happy. We're not like the la-di-da Homer podcast. I always think, Sam, like you and I, Tommy, we sit here, we kind of talk about the what we truly feel like, but it's kind of taking a step back and looking at this team these last couple months. The scenario that they put themselves in is a pretty damn good scenario. Like, it is as close to a best case scenario, like a realistic best case scenario that you put this team could be in.
Can I ask you a question? Because I painted the picture, but I didn't get your answer. Do you believe in Jimmy? Because doesn't a lot of this come down to your belief that, because he's playing good, but he's playing good in kind of an Andre Iguodala fashion for the most part, which is fine. But you gave him a max contract extension because you believed when it mattered, he has the ability to rise up and give you what you need in those moments. So my question for you tonight, after they played a disgusting game against the Houston Rockets, and I'm sure you just have a bad taste in your mouth, do you believe that if they get into Game 6, going into Memphis, going into Houston, going into Oklahoma City, whatever, pick a team, that he's going to be able to rise up and do what the team needs?
I absolutely believe, because I haven't seen him try to do it and fail. I've only seen him not try to do it. And I think that's the difference. Like, tonight, if Jimmy decides to shoot the ball 22 times and went 6 for 22 and looked completely overwhelmed by Tari Eason and Dylan Brooks, then, Sam, I would be sitting here with real questions. But Jimmy he did the Andre thing. And to me, it's like, you did too much of the Andre thing. Go shoot the ball, right? Okay, that's fine. But I didn't see him go try and shoot the ball and miss and get overwhelmed. Now, that's more concerning to me.
Couldn't you say, though, the fact that he's not willing to go shoot the ball tells you he thinks he's overwhelmed?
I don't think so. Come on, I don't think so. I know you're asking me that. You don't believe that, but
devil's advocate.
I know. I know.
You trade Jimmy, bring back Wiggs.
Like, it would. Yeah, Miami's on a little hot streak. It just feels like, I think we were talking about on the last show. It feels like Jimmy is pretty. I don't think Jimmy wants to shoot the ball 25 times. I really don't think he wants to. I think he's happy to shoot it 25 times when he has to. But he's also looking at a game like tonight, where he spam passed the ball to Buddy and Podz all game long, and Kuminga. And those guys did make some shots. And I'm kind of sitting there like, hey, Jimmy, like, you for this team to settle down a little bit, they probably do need you to take the 12-footer. Just take the 12-footer, get a couple easy buckets, draw some fouls. But again, right, you go back to it being fatigued. I don't think it's him saying, like, I can't compete, or like, I'm not good enough against these guys. I don't get that feling, but I also don't think we'll find out until the postseason. I also don't think we'll find out until yeah.
I agree with you there. I just, we're not going to get an answer until it's like kind of like nut up time. Like you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be in that kind of elimination game, and he's either going to rise to the occasion and have a little extra, or you know, maybe Miami was right. They're like, man, he's always going to be a smart player, but he doesn't have that dog. He doesn't have that ability to rise up the way he used to, you know? So I don't know. I think it's at least a fair question. I'm with you. I wanted this trade all year. I'm a Jimmy guy. I believe that he has that ability and that intangible to get there. But I don't really blame anyone if they're like sitting here going like, nights like tonight definitely make you go like,
well, no,
really nice. No.
I disagree with that because where the fuck would the Warriors be if they didn't make the trade? Genuinely, where would they be?
True.
What the fuck? They'd be sitting there with the Suns. Like the Suns are going to be the Suns aren't even going to make the play-in. It's just,
we get hopping on stream here, blaming Podz. Podz, what the
fuck? I mean, shit. You know me.
By the way,
I'm happy to blame whoever, but yeah. By the way, Podz, what?
Podz playing fucking great. Did you see? Yeah. Did you see? I'm sure you saw that AI video of
God, ridiculous,
of a Jack Harlow song where they face. First off, I thought it was just Jack Harlow, and then the second time I watched it, I was like, oh no, they face mashed Podz on it, and it cracked me up because I was like, they look really alike, right? But you saw Podz certainly saw it and made sure to post on Instagram a photo of it. It made me laugh a little bit.
Podz is very online. I was just about to say,
can't trust him.
This is how you know he's Jesse. He's very, very online. I think he's more online than me. The funniest part of the video was randomly Jimmy Butler pops in midway through.
That's how I knew. That's how I knew it was AI, buddy. Because I was like, man, Jack Harlow looks a lot like Podz. It didn't occur to me that it wasn't because I thought just someone took a music video and was like, this is Podz, and I was like, that's kind of funny, you know?
Yeah.
And then I see Jimmy. I'm like, okay, I know that's AI. Right there. I know that's fake. And then I started looking at this is old guy analyzing young guy jokes. So
just by the way, also this is old guy because I listened to the song and I was like, oh, this is Jack Harlow. Whoa, I didn't know that. I was like, this is a popular song, right? This is Jack Harlow. Half the songs nowadays that are popular, my wife just tells me it's like a TikTok song. And I'm just like, oh, great. I'm not on TikTok, but I guess TikTok songs are popular. Anyway, Podz had a good game. He's fun, man. He's the only guy other than those two guys that can dribble the basketball. So they need him to take these shots, and he's kind of figured out the mid-range shot, which is fun. And I don't know. I thought he played well today. He kept them in, I thought, in the first half, and I think then in the second half, kind of, and it goes back to Jimmy, right? Like it became like, all right, now there's too much. You're having him shoot the ball too much, right? It just Jimmy, you got to take a little pressure out. It can't be Podz shooting it every time or handling every time, stuff like that. So, what do we got?
I mean, our guy Joe Bray threw up the stats. I think we've touched on it in various different ways, but he's basically averaged 15, 5, and 5, 40+% on like volume threes. Better off the bounce, but like they're going in. Pretty much since he returned from that injury. I don't know. I think it's real. I think the combination of breaking his nose and having the face mask and then hurting his abs, like just a classic terrible sophomore slump start. But this is kind of what I thought we were going to see from him year 2 after his really good rookie year in general. And it's also, it feels like it's coming through at the most important time with the shooting confidence now, because they don't really have a third option. It's kind of third option by committee. I know they wanted it to be Kuminga, and there are certain matchups where Kuminga is really advantageous. Like I think against the Lakers or a team who's not really good, like they're slow rotating. So he could just use his athleticism and put 20 points on them. Easy, right? But there's also games where Pod's ability to shoot and handle the ball are far more important. And you know, I'm a believer. I'm a big believer here.
The 41% from 3 is huge. If that's sustainable, again, like I think like 4 shows ago, I was kind of talking about like what could sustain for him moving forward, dude. If it's 40+% on volume moving forward, that's massive. And then the mid-range jump shot. I don't even think he's ever shot the midi like last season. He always did the weird hook. Remember he had the weird hook shot that we'd never see anymore. Last season he had a float game, but like kind of didn't have the touch, timing, stuff like that. But this season the confidence is all there. Like he goes in with the lefty float game. Like you really think it's going in. He's taken the hook shot completely out of his game, and the pull up mid range is like he's going into his move to try to shoot the pull up mid range, which is huge. I don't think
that's actually
can do that.
I actually think that's his most confident shot. Like they don't go to it a ton because, like, let's be real. Like you don't want every possession ending in a Podz elbow jumper, you know? Like it's kind of a Chris Paul shot, and he's not Chris Paul yet, you know, like type of thing. But like I'm with you. Like when he goes to it, he goes to it as if that's what he wants to do. And he goes with a lot of confidence at it. Like he shoots that shot very well. I would not be surprised if that becomes like a staple, like end of possession counter shot for this team over the next few years, because to me that's his most comfortable move. Like he's still not really comfortable finishing at the rim around length, and maybe he never will. Maybe he'll figure it out because he's just kind of a smart guy who's used to like figuring angles out, or maybe he won't. But that elbow jumper, it's there for him whenever he wants it, and he's so comfortable just kind of 1-2 dribbles, get there, fade. Like your Chris Paul hitting it. Like maybe Chris Paul taught it to him last year, honestly. Like it looks like his most comfortable shot. That mixed with, to your point, like he's getting very comfortable 1 dribble 3 on a consistent basis, which he needs to.
I think they're going to need, like, is it a leap? Is it a sustained leap? I think that's the real question. We saw Jordan Poole do something like this. I think a lot of people have been comparing. They're not the type of player, but the leap that he made in the Warriors offense. Jordan Poole, all of a sudden, he was like, boom. Was it a second year or third year? It might have been his third year, which is kind of like to say, like, damn, Podz, like he's already doing it in a second. Now, different type of scorer. So when Poole made the leap, it's like, man, Poole got to the rim. He way more athletic, right? But I think this is kind of what we've been waiting for. Podz probably way more of a leap than what we've seen from Moody, just because he's way better ball handler, and not just because, but like he's a way better ball handler. He gets to do all different types of stuff because he is a way better ball handler than Moody. But I think this is someone that I'm watching. Sam, I'm watching the Final Four. I know you did last night or yesterday, and I'm watching Clayton Jr. from Florida, who we've talked about.
My guy.
The handle. It's the handle. It unlocks everything. Unlocks everything, and I'm just dreaming about if the Warriors probably can't draft him because he's probably first round pick. But like, okay, he was a late second.
That dream went away last night.
Yeah,
he went away last time.
Good for him, but bad for us that he's not going to be a Warrior. Right
now, I'm hoping bad interview. Shows up to the combine fat, something like that.
Is he 25? Maybe he's 25.
Yeah.
Maybe he's 6'1.5".
Fake birth certificate. There's actually 26. It's like, it's not my problem. Bring him in.
Yeah.
But based off of, I mean, he looks like such a Warriors player. He looks like exactly what this team needs off the bench. He's fun as hell to watch.
Yeah, he is. They need him. Actually, before I know we got to do some reads here, but before we do, Marcus Thompson, I know I sent it to you. He pushed out a tweet with the cumulative schedules for the teams that are in the there we go, for the teams that are, wow, look at that. Okay, well, he did a job for us. Who has the toughest schedule here
of the remaining teams?
The Nuggets.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say because the Lakers and the Nuggets have the Rockets at the end, and I just don't know if the Rockets are actually going to play anyone in those games.
That's true.
Because they'll be rested. Like, it's a little like the Suns might be difficult because they're playing for something. You know what I'm saying?
But KD's not playing. KD's not playing.
Yeah. Probably the Grizzlies, because the Grizzlies
have to
play 3 teams who are playing for real playoff seedings. So they know they're going to get A+ effort from Minnesota, Denver, and Dallas. So the Grizzlies are kind of in the worst spot of these teams. I would say everyone else, like, it's kind of even. Like they all got, winnable. Like they all kind of control their own destiny is the way I'm looking at this. I don't think the schedule is actually going to be a major difference maker. when I look at this the entire way, other than the fact Memphis and Minnesota playing each other automatically knocks one of them down. So you're kind of at an advantage not having that. But then again, the Warriors have to play the Clippers at the end of the season. So it's the same exact like mental calculus, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah. But the Warriors play the Clippers out. I mean, like I'm looking at this, like the Warriors, they might have the easiest one of all. The Warriors might have the easiest one. Maybe you could argue the Clippers. The Clippers have the Spurs, then the Kings. Nah, but not even. I can make a pretty good argument that the Warriors probably have the easiest schedule. Like they've got 3 teams that they really should beat, man. Like they're going to be a 6-7 point favorite against the Suns, probably a 15-point favorite against the Spurs, probably another 6-7-8 point favorite against the Blazers, right? At home against the Clippers, they're probably going to be the favorite by 4 or 5 points. So yeah, the Warriors.
But then
you guys are in a good spot. You're in a good spot.
Then again, I mean, like the Timberwolves, Milwaukee's locked in. They should beat them. They have 1 game against the Grizzlies they have to win, and then Nets and Jazz. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's
they
fair.
have they really only have 1 game that they're going to get someone's A+ effort in return.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Light Years Podcast. We are brought to you by Vaia. Vaia is changing the game in natural wellness, combining high-quality hemp-derived ingredients with powerful cannabinoids to create real effective driven results. Listen, for me right now, I need better focus all day long. I sleep in 3-hour intervals, 4-hour intervals. So I need to lock in the moment I wake up. That's why I lock in with Vaia. You go to the link in our description. Use the code LightYears, get 15% off. Here's what Vaia does. They let you customize your experience, whether you're looking for daily wellness, laser focus, or I know for a lot of our listeners, I got a buddy that just signed up last week. He used it for deep relaxation, right? The kind that makes you one with your couch. Vaia has it with products ranging from 0 to high cannabinoid levels. They've got options for everyone, man. We're talking about award-winning effect forward gummies. I think gummies the pretty standard one. I'm the gummies type of guy. They got calming drops as well, all made with organic lab-tested hemp from trusted independent American farms. Their products range from 0 mg. That's what I use. I use the 0 mg. Helps me focus during the day when I'm working all day long after a night of no sleep. Or you could do the 100 mg of THC. These guys have you covered, whether you're looking to microdose or enjoy more potent effects. Vaia is the only lifestyle hemp brand. They use compounds found in hemp along with active plant extracts to create products, each with a specific effect in mind. So whether you want to get better sleep, ease anxiety, enhance your mood, or just get high, they got something for you. If you're 21 plus, check out the link to Vaia in our description. Use the code LightYears, receive 15% off, free shipping on orders over $100. And if you're new to Vaia, get a free gift of your choice. After you purchase, they ask you where you heard about them. Support our show. Tell them we sent you. Enhance your everyday with Vaia.
Guys, cellular health is the foundation of well-being and longevity. And with MitoPure supplements, you can support your health by encouraging cellular renewal. So look, man, we're not getting younger. We're the official old guy pod of Warrior fans here. So you guys know this stuff matters to me here. So with MitoPure, you'll feel the difference in your energy levels, your workouts, and your endurance. MitoPure is the only supplement on the market clinically proven to target the effects of age-related cellular decline. MitoPure is even shown to deliver double-digit increases in muscular strength and endurance without the change in exercise. So now's the time. Take charge of it, guys. Timeline. I've taken MitoPure supplements, and I can tell you it's been a game changer. My workouts are better. I feel like I have more energy, and I can rest well knowing I'm taking care of my health. It's one day at a time, easy. You'll thank me later. Guys, Timeline is offering 10% off your MitoPure. Timeline.com/lightyears. Once again, Timeline.com/lightyears. There you go.
Oh, what do we got?
You know what we got. It's funny because like tonight the Warriors kind of lost and it's like, yeah, it sucks. But I do feel like there's been a vibe shift around the Warriors over the last couple weeks. I just kind of talk about it real quick.
Yes, sir.
So our guy, little LeBron. I don't think we talked about this.
To make of what knowing, assuming that you've watched what the Warriors look like with Jimmy Butler since the trade, but having seen it now for the first time played against it, what did you sort of make of what they put together over there, knowing that that's a team you could see in 2 weeks pretty easily?
I mean, I've been a part of them making big acquisitions to change their dynamic of their team before. And had to go against them when they added Kevin Durant. So, I mean, Jimmy Butler is great, and he adds a toughness to him. He adds a championship DNA type of guy. But it's always the same. They always.
I feel like this is the perfect quote to discuss the way the Warriors are discussed since they're back in this picture. It's just always excuses, my man.
Are you going for? You want me to go? I got takes.
Yeah, you go first.
We're gonna go for a while on this one. Yeah, I'll go first. So I didn't. I was out all night on Thursday night. So I saw this quote when I got home at like 2 a.m. And the first thing I was blitzed out of my mind. The first thing I thought of, I was just start laughing. I didn't even rewatch the game yet, Sam. I was just sitting in my couch because I wasn't gonna sleep on the bed, just crying, laughing. Because I haven't heard Bron talk like this in forever. And in my head, when LeBron talks like this, look at the smile on his face. Look at him. When he talks like this is how he used to sound when he used to lose to the Warriors. Not one time, not 2 times, but 3 times in the NBA Finals. This is how he used to talk about. Nothing but fucking excuses, man. Nothing but talking about, well, they got Kevin Durant. Bro, why are we talking about Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant was on the Warriors 10 years ago. He was on the Warriors for 3 seasons. What the fuck are we talking about?
We've had 3 presidential elections since then. Like,
Yeah,
what are we doing, man?
Yeah. We've had 2 recessions. We've had 2 recessions, Sam, since then. We got another one coming. What are we talking about? Why are we talking about KD? And yes, the comment from ZJ and everybody else in the comments that are joining us tonight on our live show. The Lakers got Luka Doncic, who is going to be the face of their franchise for the next 10 to 15 years. I can't believe this is what he said after the game. You take.
And it's not even this. It's a general like online tone. And anytime the Warriors get back, there's a certain type of person who they immediately go back to. Kevin Love was injured. Kevin Love was injured in 2015. I'm just like, bro, it's been a decade. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? They've been to, like, they built a great team. Then they won a title. Then they added Kevin Durant, had the greatest team ever. Then everything fell apart. Clay's never been the same player. And it sucks, but like he got injured to death. KD left. Andre Iguodala retired. They still won another title. Now they've fallen apart, and now they're kind of back in the mix. And you can just tell by these quotes, they're scared. They know that even after a night like tonight, where they look awful, they look old and everything. A little fear here, a little fear because everyone knows what the Warriors look like when they play like the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like the games that they had this week against Memphis, the Lakers, and Denver, you've seen that. You felt that. You know what it is. The ball's popping. It finds Steph at the right time. It goes in. Draymond's yapping. There's energy. They play with flow. Steve Kerr's in his Nirvana Zen state. It's terrifying for people. And it's just so funny to me because I thought we were beyond it. I thought everyone kind of acknowledged with 2022, like, damn, there's a great team. I just need to put all the pettiness of the past behind. And it's not the case because they went in 2022. They kind of fell apart for a couple of years there. We can go through every detail, the punch, the 2 timelines, like all these dumb things. It doesn't really matter. The point is people thought the Warriors were over, and then they get Jimmy and they go on this run, and who knows where this run ends. Let's be real. Like, I feel actually pretty optimistic about it, but like, it could flame out. It could flame out. It could, but we all know everyone's thinking the same thing when they see the Warriors, like, uh-oh, they kind of look like the Warriors again. And that makes all the comments come out. It's all the same trolls you dealt with like 8 years ago being like, yeah, but but Steph can never be on the same level as Bron. All this sort of stuff. It's just like, it's not even about that. It's like you're making excuses for everything here. Like, just admit you're kind of spooked by this team. Just
That's
admit it.
exactly
You're
what it is.
scared by this team.
Yep.
And the reality is, it kind of dawned on me, like, they are kind of the New England Patriots for a lot of people, where it's like, uh-oh. Like, do you remember that with the Patriots? Like, how much people were like, Tom Brady's a system quarterback. Good.
I hated the Patriots. I hated them. Well,
yeah, but then they hit a certain point, and you're just like,
yeah, and then I loved. Yeah, that's how it was. I mean, honestly, that I was kind of there with LeBron too. I mean, just of course we all hated LeBron during the rivalry stages, and now it's kind of like, LeBron's great. But then you can see, and I'm gonna piggyback on what you just said, because I agree 100%. You can see the fear. The fear is that the Warriors have a chance to win a 5th title, and
the same.
I think it shows, right? I think it shows.
Yeah.
I think that's truly the fear, is that LeBron sat there, and LeBron knows this better than anybody else in the entire world. Nobody knows how great the Warriors can be more than LeBron James, who firsthand felt the wrath of the Warriors again 3 times that he's lost to the Warriors on the biggest stage. He knows firsthand, if the Warriors are a championship team, he'll tell you. And to me, what he said, he's telling us. Like, he's kind of sitting there. He probably sat there after the game and was like, fuck, like, they might be good enough to win a title. And I think a lot of times the last couple seasons where LeBron's playing buddy with Steph was partly, I mean, yes, partly like they are good friends now, but partly because it's kind of like LeBron's sitting there like, I mean, like, Steph ain't gonna win one. Like, so it's cool. Like, we're kind of like,
we're both not winning one. It's even.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah,
we're
both going to end at 4. And now it's like, I mean, look, let's be clear. The Lakers are 3 seed. Like, they could go win one too. But I think they both kind of probably have the same shot to win one, to be honest, this year. Like, they probably have the same shot. And I don't think LeBron, I'm just saying, I think the Warriors have, I think the Warriors are better than the Lakers and have a better chance of winning. Just watching them. But then, I watched the Lakers beat the Thunder in Oklahoma City by 20 today, and I'm like, all right, like, they have a chance to win a title. Like, let's not sit here and be like LeBron has no help. Like, that's the other side of this, right? It's like LeBron's sitting there and saying, like, well, they've done all this. They got KD. Hey, like, buddy, you have 4 titles in 22 years, and you've gotten to play with everyone under the sun. You now get to play with Luka. Austin Reeves is amazing. You've got 3 alpha scorers on your team. You probably should be able to win this year. Like, why the focus shouldn't be on like title, like Steph this getting help. Like, why do you only have 4 titles, right? Type of thing. So
what's wrong with AD? What was wrong with Kyrie? What was wrong with Dwayne Wade? Yeah, exactly. You go on the same thing. It's less about like his individual comments, because he's probably salty after a game. And let's be real, I mean, everyone gets salty after a loss. Like, it's just reality. But it's the online echoing of it from it's always the same. It's, you think you're beyond it, and they're back, and now everyone's going through digging up your personal information, and it's just so fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But.
Well, I mean, I thought everybody was all okay. I'll phrase it this way. I thought once the Steph LeBron rivalry kind of faded away, I think that was the peak of like online like anger and hate, because since then there's really not been much that has drawn that. And I think part of that is like kind of online social media for basketball has kind of become just not about basketball anymore. But you can see now, if it goes back to it, the NBA, it's good for the NBA, man. Like, I hate is good for the NBA. Warriors Rockets tonight. Draymond kind of putting on a show. Şengün kind of puffing his chest out. Ime Udoka talking shit to Steph. Like, that's just good for the NBA, Sam. Rivalry is good. Hate is good. Hate is good in sports. As much as I think Adam Silver has tried to create parody or like, I don't know, whatever it is he's creating, hate is good. The NBA was at its peak in the last 10 years when LeBron and Steph hated each other and played against each other. So I don't know. Maybe they'll end up. I mean, it looks like it might be Lakers Warriors 3-6. So maybe we'll sit here next week, same time, Sam, and be like, all right, here we go again. And here we go again. And this time I think it'll be pretty even. Hate is good. New model. No, I don't want that to be a model for America, but it should be a model for the NBA. Yeah.
Hate is good. All right. I say we end it here. This is gonna be a fun week. Like I think the big thing I want to tell everyone is we're going live after every game. We're hyped. We're into this. I'm very in on this journey. We will see where this week goes. I'm feeling good. That's why I'm not in as bad a mood after this L as I might be earlier. But that could change with a terrible loss to the Spurs.
They lose in Phoenix.
They got opportunities to disappoint us or make us happy. We'll see.
Much love, guys.